Hello, viewers. It's CJ Michael from Street Reviews, bringing you a new podcast in my segment called the Black Lightning Review. Like always, I'm going to speak very loudly, very clearly, and very slowly in case you don't understand it. Also, I'll try to do my best not to breathe so hard during this audio podcast recording as well, not to cause any audio feedback as well. And finally, if you're under 18, this audio podcast recording will change your adult language. Once again, if you're under 18, this audio podcast recording will change your adult language. Now, if you're over 18, that means you're old enough to watch this audio podcast recording. So anyway, before I begin, I have to say sorry for the late review on this latest episode of Black Lightning. I had a bad hangover, so basically, that's the reason why I'm doing this late. So basically, I had a bad hangover from party last night. So basically, that's the reason why I'm doing this review so late. So anyway, let's get into the latest episode. Let's get into the latest episode of Black Lightning. Now it starts off back in Mongolia, where Grave Digger is doing his personal video journal and talking about why he calls himself Grave Digger. Turns out back in World War II, Grave Digger was part of the grave digging unit back in World War II. So basically, he was a soldier who did graves for foreign soldiers who died in the war. So basically, grave diggers say I used to dig grave. I was a soldier. I was part of the cutter unit. That did graves for foreign soldiers and whatnot. So basically, that's why I decided to call myself Grave Digger, because of that. And plus, I believe that don't matter what enemy that I face, I always make sure that that enemy that I defeat and kill in battle, make sure that they have a proper burial. So basically, Grave Digger used to be in World War II. Used to be a soldier that did graves for foreign soldiers, and now he still believes that he doesn't care what enemy that he kills. He makes sure that his enemy always has a proper burial. So basically, he digs graves of his enemies and makes sure they have a proper burial and whatnot. So basically, now that Grave Digger has learned superpower serum, he's unstoppable now. So basically, Grave Digger and a couple other, I believe, and a couple other Mongolian members are heading to Freeman. So anyway, meanwhile, back in Freeman, back at the ASA's headquarters, the pit, Lane and Dr. Just had discovered some more shocking details about Grave Digger's medicine. Turns out with the superpower serum, with superpower serum, it doesn't have any limits to it. So basically, inside Grave Digger's, because of Grave Digger's, metagene and DNA, so basically, he can have every superpower he wants to, and he don't have to worry about, he don't have to worry about that power, going away anytime soon. So basically, Grave Digger can use the superpower to get any power, and it will be permanently a part of Grave Digger's DNA. So basically, Grave Digger's is unstoppable. And on top of that, Jefferson and Gary actually had some more bad news to go around. Turns out the ASA is too weak to help. Them fight the Mongolian forces. The Mongolian is too weak to help Freeman to fight the Mongolian forces, and also the government won't see any aid. So basically, if Grave Digger somehow managed to, take that, managed to get to Freeman and take over Freeman. The government is gonna use a nuclear bomb to destroy Freeman. It's Gravedigger. If the city falls to Gravedigger, the government gonna use a nuclear bomb to destroy Freeman. It's Gravedigger successful taking over Freeman, but Gravedigger's intentions is that he doesn't want to take over the world, whatnot. He wants to free metahumans, bring them back to Markolia, where they can be free from the U.S. government. So basically, that is Gravedigger's only goal. Is he wants to free all the metahumans in Freeman. He doesn't want to take over the United States and whatnot. He just wants to make sure all metahumans are free. And bring them back to Markolia, where they could be free. And he's willing to do anything to free the metahumans from the ASA and from the U.S. government and whatnot, from Freeman and whatnot. So basically, Gravedigger say that all he wants is to free the metahumans from Markolia and free the metahumans from Freeman, bring them back to Markolia where they could be free and live out their lives. And that's all he wants. But if anybody tries to stop him, he says, I won't mind to killing whoever's trying to stop me. So anyway, Jefferson Jefferson got the team together. So basically Jefferson got the team together. TC, Erica, Grace, Jennifer, Anisha, Gary, and himself and whatnot back again with Bunker and Queen Brandon. Telling him about the situation about Gravedigger's coming here. He's gonna be, whatnot. About the Markolia, it's going to be a big ass war and comes to Freeman once Gravedigger comes to Markolia to Freeman. It's going to be a big ass war. So basically, after Jefferson explained the plan, Brandon said I don't got no beef with this Gravedigger dude, man. But you say so basically Brandon said all Gravedigger wants is to feed the metahumans. For Freeman shows that let's let him do that. So basically, Jefferson said he wants to take the metahumans to Freeman and bring them back to Markolia where they can be free. So basically, Gravedigger it's going to force all the metahumans to Freeman to go back to force them to go back to Markolia by forcibly. So basically, Bernie says still the guys that's trying to talk about that to me, and plus I don't really care. All I want Dr. Jantz to tell me the truth about who my father is. So basically, Bernie's just saying Gravedigger, I got no beef with Gravedigger. So basically, see that he wants to free medicine, that's all him. But I'm gonna go have a conversation with Dr. You guys can leave me out of this bullshit. I'm gonna take care of Dr. Jentz's bitch ass and make her tell me about what happened to my father, and Bernard just laughed. So anyway, so the others decided to stay on Jefferson and whatnot, and help him fight off the Markolia forces and Gravedigger once Gravedigger shows up with the rest of the Markolia forces. So anyway, meanwhile, somewhere outside Cleveland, we see Khalil, walking the street late at night, look like he's about to leave Freeman and whatnot, and that's when a bunch of Markolia soldiers stopped him, and they start to attack him. So basically, Khalil was getting his ass kicked by a bunch of Markolia soldiers, and that's when the Painkiller program took control of Khalil's body, and and basically beat the crap out of the soldiers and whatnot. And Cleo, after after the painkiller program, they took out the mock calling soldiers that was kicking Cleo's ass. Cleo got control over again, and he started to have the conversation with the painkiller program in his mind, the painkiller programs, you should get me. I'm the one who saved you from those soldiers and kicking your ass, but clearly, I should, but I know that you're evil. So basically, Khalil was having a mental conversation with the painkiller program inside his mind and whatnot. So anyway, while that was going on, Jefferson, so basically Jefferson and Lisa went to go see Lala, so basically Jefferson Mr. put on their superhero outfit, so basically as Black Lightning and Thunder to go ask Lala for some help to get his story to help fight the Mongolian soldiers. So basically, Lana was like, I'm not trying to be in the superhero bullshit. So basically, Lana said, no, that's your problem. So basically, but my problem is the people of Freeman. So basically, Jefferson and this is no, this is for people of Freeman. But Lana said, no, we won't get involved in your superhero bullshit. So basically, no. So basically, Jefferson and Lisa had no choice to lead to handle the Mongolian situation without the help from Lala and his people. So anyway, back at the law, Brandy once again went to go see Dr. Janet, and Dr. Janet was surprised that Brandy came back again and whatnot. So basically, Brandy said what, I'm tired of your bullshit lies. I know. And Ben said, I know about your son and whatnot. So basically, I know about your family and whatnot. So basically, if you're gonna tell me everything about my father, or else I'm gonna find your son and take, and do some bad things to it. So basically, with no other choice, but Dr. Kid had no choice but to go with Vernon, So basically, to go with Vernon Ridley. So basically. Go to Glenn and you put the cards, Brian threatened to hurt her son and whatnot. So basically, Dr. Jansen was had no choice but to go to Brian and tell him everything about Brian's father and whatnot. So anyway, things are starting to get real, very strange and whatnot. So anyway, meanwhile, in Freeman, we see Odell in his car talking to Lady Eve. So basically, Lady Eve says she wants Odell's help to get back on the Shadow Board. But Odell says, I don't know if I can make that happen unless you got something that can help me get you back on the Shadow Board. And Lady Eve says, I know where the briefcase is. So basically, if you help me get back on the Shadow Board, I'll tell you where the briefcase is. So basically, in last week's episode, Lady Eve gave the briefcase to Gandhi. So basically, she's gonna use that information to get Odell to get her back on the Shadow Board and whatnot. So while that was all going down, Grayson and this. So basically, back at Mrs. apartment, back at Mrs. apartment, turns out that ever since Grace got control over her shape-shifting powers, her strength has increased very strongly. So basically, ever since Grace got control over her shape-shifting powers, she has to cut from super strength now and whatnot. So anyway, basically when Nissa and Grace lay down, Nissa asked Grace to marry her, and Grace said yes. So anyway, so basically, Alyssa, when they lay down to bed together, Alyssa asked Grace to marry her, and Grace said yes. So basically, Grace and Alyssa are about to get married and whatnot. And so basically, we actually with that and Alyssa's place. Meanwhile, back in the lab, back at the lab, back at that, Lynn has was doing some tests on Grave Digger's DNA. It turns out she found out something very shocking about Grave Digger's DNA. So basically, she went to go tell Jefferson. Turns out that Grave Digger Grave Digger is Jefferson's Jefferson's great uncle. So basically, it turns out that. And Jefferson's like, what the hell does that mean? So basically, it turns out that it turns out that Grave Digger is Jefferson's great uncle, and he's related to the first met him, and that being Grave Digger. So basically, Jefferson was kind of shocked, and and asked Lynn that, are you sure about that? And like he said, I won the DNA 17 times already. It's pretty sure. It's true. I'm pretty sure that the results is pretty sure that that Grave Digger is your great uncle. So basically, Jefferson did. Jefferson, the father did say he did have a great uncle who fought in World War II, but here still he died. So according to his father, Jefferson's father told Jefferson when he was a little boy that he had an uncle who fought in World War II, but then who fought that he died in World War II. So basically, Jefferson was kind of shocked at that. But anyway, Lynn said that, what Grave Digger's still powers and whatnot, he's a dangerous threat. So basically, Lynn was asking that, I know it's kind of shocking that, that you just found out that Grave Digger is your great uncle, but Grave Digger needs to go. So basically, Jefferson Jefferson was like, you want me to kill my great uncle? Like, I know I actually need to kill. I know it's going to be a bit of killing your great uncle, but he is dangerous. He's a very dangerous, he's a very dangerous man. So basically, with all the power he has now, he could be dangerous to our daughters and whatnot. So basically, like Jefferson is like, if it comes to that, I'll do it. But if it comes to it, I will take down. I will kill Grave Digger if it comes to that. So anyway, meanwhile, into the hotel room, Claire was still having a conversation with the painkiller program inside his mind, and they started to get into a fight. So basically, during the fight inside Claire's mind, and the painkiller program, the painkiller program managed to put Khalil behind the firewall, lock him in the firewall, just like lock Khalil behind the firewall. And painkiller program saying like, what, I'm gonna go finish my job, I'm gonna go kill the whole pitch family. So basically, you could be here and watch me do so. So basically, the painkiller program saying that, I'm gonna go back to Freeman and go to kill the pitch family once and for all. So anyway, after that whole situation, Anissa invited everybody to her apartment and told them that Grace and them are going to get married and whatnot. So basically, Jefferson and everybody was happy. So basically, everybody except Bernie did not show up though. So basically, everybody, Gary, TC, Erica, Jennifer, Kane, Jefferson, and Lynn. Okay, so Mr. Houston and Mr. Tom. And Mr. and Grace tells them that that they're getting married tonight, and Jamie's going to be it's going to make the marriage official. So basically, Jamie is an all-day minister and shit like that. So basically, So basically, about everybody to Mrs. apartment, and Mr. telling them that her and Grace are going to get married tonight and whatnot. And Gam is going to be the official, it's called the official Grace and then Mrs. marriage and whatnot. So basically, seems like everything was good, everything was going good until Jennifer told TC if Greg Digger shows up, let her know. So basically, TC found out that Greg Digger is outside, is outside the freezing right now, and told Jennifer that I told Jennifer that, Greg Digger is outside of freezing right now. So basically, and Jennifer said that, what, I'm going to take that, since I'm the most powerful metahuman here, I'm going to go take out Greg Digger myself. But she doesn't know that Greg Digger has all the, I guess that Jefferson must have forgot to tell her that Greg Digger has all, has new powers and shit like that now. So anyway, meanwhile, Lala kidnapped one of Lady Eve's, one of Lady Eve's girls from her whorehouse, and Lady Eve went to go get her girl back to Lala, and Lala was like, all I want is, I heard that you know somebody who knows who sold the bar. So basically, Lady Eve was like, what, fine, fuck it, and told Lala the person who last sold the bar. So basically, Lala went to go see that person, and turned out it was the doctor who was working with Lynn back in the pit, and and the doctor said that I had not achieved Tobias ever since he got kidnapped. So basically, but Lala thought, he wanted to believe him, but he just wanted to make sure that, and that he was lying. So 50 had his homeboy have his homeboy, beat the crap out of him to make sure that he wasn't lying about seeing Tobias in Freeman and whatnot. So anyway, anyway, Jennifer stood up and went to go fight Grave Digger, and try to take down Grave Digger. But turns out that Grave Digger done his homework about the rest of Jefferson's team. So basically, Grave Digger expected that, turn out that Grave Digger done his homework about Jefferson and the rest of his team about their powers and whatnot. So basically, Grave Digger was prepared to deal with Jennifer. So basically, Jennifer tried to use her electric powers to kill Grave Digger, but turns out that Grave Digger has some earth powers now. He used one of his new powers to block Jennifer's electric powers and send her fire into the barrier, into the barrier that surrounded Freeman by the SA. So basically, Grave Digger used one of his new powers to block Jennifer's her electric attacks, and Jennifer was kind of shocked that Grave Digger can block her electric attacks and whatnot, and Grave Digger send Mr. Fart into the barrier that surrounded Freeman, and she got her powers, and also start her heart. But lucky for her, Jefferson managed to save Jennifer in the nick of time, restart her heart and whatnot. So basically, Jennifer because of Jennifer, got thrown into the barrier that was protecting Freeman from the Marconians, got shut out because of her powers now. So basically, after Jefferson made sure that that Jennifer was safe and whatnot, Great Digger showed up and showed up and like, oh, that's a good thing right there. I'm glad that she's alive, but still, but still, I came here to do a job. I came here to do a job. So basically, like, are you gonna let me do this job or not? So basically, Jefferson powered up and he charged at Grave Digger, and Grave Digger charged at Jefferson. And this how the episode ended with Jefferson and Grave Digger charging at each other and about to and start to fight. And this how the episode ended. So anyway, this is how the episode ended with Grave Digger and Jefferson charging at each other, and the fight for Freeman started to begin with Jefferson and Grave Digger fighting each other. So anyway, this is some crazy. This episode it was crazy. So basically, we got one more episode since Black Lightning only has like 16 episodes. So basically, next week's episode will be the final episode of season 3 of Black Lightning. So basically, this is next week's episode of Black Lightning will be the final episode. So anyway, this was a good episode. This was a good episode of Black Lightning. Once again, I'm sorry for the late review of this episode. I had a hangover, so basically, sorry for the late review on this episode. So basically, this was a good episode of Black Lightning. So anyway, what do you guys think about this latest episode of Black Lightning? And, was it good? Was it bad? And was it just okay? Please let me know what the comments below this podcast. So anyway, like always, this is Sincere Michael from Screen Review. Sign off. 1.